Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you a video on how to take apart the Tippmann 98 custom A.C.T model. Taking this apart for you can take it apart for like maintenance or anything, but mine, so you can see my bolt right here, doesn't go past halfway. Doesn't go back more than halfway. My trigger's been acting up, I realized that, so I'm going to take it apart and show you guys how to do it. So let's go to the work desk and we'll get started. Alright, first thing you need to do is take off your air tank or CO2 tank or whatever you have on there. I did that, and I got to take off your barrel. This is the 14-inch extended barrel. The one it came with, I think, was like 8 or 10 inches. It was way too short for my play. I play woods ball with this gun. So I have a sight on here, take that off. Make sure you don't lose all the pieces for all your things. Alright, I got that off. Now you take your hopper off. On these, all you do is press down right here on the sight. That drops down. Take off your hopper. There you go. This, you can take it off by sliding it to the side. You have these little pins. It comes right off and just makes it way easier to work with. Now what you need to do is take off on just the Tippmann 98 custom and the 98 custom A.C.T. There's no split down here, so you can use the receptor end and the firing end, or whatever you call it. Here you got to take off the 6 bolts, I believe. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one down here in the handle, 6. Makes it a lot easier if you take these out as well. So that makes 8 bolts. These two are different sizes than the rest, to keep these separate. I don't know, put them on a separate spot. I like to have a towel, a small towel there, a small towel on both sides of my spot that I'm actually working on, and put on bolts, springs, stuff so they don't roll off the desk or whatever. Or you can put them in a little jar or whatever. So use the Allen key. It comes with the gun right here. I'm not sure what size this is. I think it's like 1/8. Put this in. Loosen all these up. Take them out. And the last one for the sight. Don't worry if your pieces fly out. It's always good to have some schematics with you or whatever. I printed these ones off the website. Printed those off the website. If you didn't come with a box, my gun didn't come with a box because I bought it off my buddy. Which I didn't buy it off my buddy. I got it through a trade. Gave him an old pair of skis. He gave me 2 guns. One of which I don't know the name or the make or the company or whatever. So I'll post a picture of that at the end of the video. If you guys have any idea what it is, post it in the comments. Give me some info for future references. Right here, your little ball hold. Right here. Take that off, put that aside. Note which way it came out. You want to make sure when you put it back in, this part here, the opening of the V is facing out, because if it is faced this way, when this comes back, there we go, when this comes back from being cocked and it shoots, it will jam this between it and the barrel, and it's going to bring it to a complete stop, and it will not fire. Right here is the sight. Take that off with the spring. All that's noted on how put back together. All of it's noted on the schematics. Once again, everything, the everything's on there, so it's nice to have one of those with you when you're working on these, in case you forget where some things went. Here you have your handle, everything like that, your searing pin, your searing spring right there, set that aside. A pin that holds that piece together, set that aside with it. I have a pin that fell out, I'm pretty sure that's why my gun was not reloading and firing like it's supposed to. Yeah, the pin came out from right here. Put that back in. It's good to either have small fingers or like some needle nose pliers for those things like that. I'm just checking to make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. If you want to take it apart, this piece right here, you spin it. That pops out of the hole. This slides right off. You can grease or clean oil that all up right here. This piece comes right off. Right here, this comes right out. The whole back end. A little piece comes from there. This pulls out. You can clean, oil, grease, all that up. Whatever you want to do. I just did that not too long ago. About 2 weeks ago when I got the gun back. So I'm putting all this back together now. It doesn't look like anything's wrong here, so I don't see why my gun's not firing right. If you guys actually know what's going on here, message me or comment. Leave me with some contact information. I'll message you about it or whatever. Because this is my woods ball gun. I woods ball a lot. My cousin's place up north. We got places where we go. That's basically it for taking this apart, though. I found videos on how to take apart the 98 Custom, 98 Custom Platinum, all the new models, all these little bit older models. There ain't too much. I didn't find too many videos on them. Tippmann's website itself, they have a video or two. But make sure that searing pin's back where it goes before you put your case over. If you hear any little thing pop out when you're going to put your case back on, don't close it thinking everything's alright, because there's a good chance that's what came out, or one of your little pins here. All these are very important. Make sure you put your sight back together here. That's quite simple. Make sure you put the spring in the right spot. All this goes in. If you don't want that, like how you take apart the hopper, like I showed you on this, where you can just like press the sight down and everything, you find that doesn't really matter to you, and you don't really care for that, you can just take out the spring here on your sight, and then you won't have that clicking down motion. That's just going to be in one single spot for your sight. I know a lot of people don't really use their sights, so yeah. Now everything's in place. I'm actually going to take these bolts out right here with the Allen key before I put that back, because it is actually quite a bit easier to close it when these are out of there, and then you put these back in after. If you do there's kits that you can have your, everything. The extended front, you can have the stock on the back. Most of the time the stock on the back, instead of having a little butt cap here, that butt cap is built into the stock. That's the only difference. All those response trigger, you can get that for all this gun. The double trigger, I don't really find double trigger is important for woods ball. It doesn't really care for me. Make sure you put these, and make sure you gotta put those nuts right back in. If you don't put those there, you're not gonna be able to get this back on there without having to take apart the gun again. Now that everything's out, make sure all your bolts and stuff are in the gun. Everything's where it's supposed to be. Line it up. Put that on there. Make sure it's all lined up. It should fit straight down like that. Nothing, I didn't hear anything move. Now all you do is tighten down all your bolts. I'll speed up the process. Alright, dropped the Allen key like a dumbass and couldn't find it. Alright guys, last one is this one, the long one on the air hose adapter connection, whatever thing. Tank adapter. There you go. The advantage of putting the tank adapter nuts on the inside of your casing and doing the adapter bolt back up after is that your casing on the gun itself will close all the time. I've done it a couple of times where I couldn't get the handle to close, and that's because the bolts were just off angle and it didn't work. Now to put this back in, right here you see these nuts. Line those up like this. They slide right in. That clips. That's on there. Put your hopper on it. Put all your stuff back on it. I'm hoping this works now. Alright guys. Peace out.